Hey, Tom from 8 Hands here. I often get the question of, I want to start a farm. What kind of animals should I start with, or animal? Should it be multiples? And the answer is usually it's best to start something at home first. We've done it that way. It's hard to really sit there and say, let's just go all out and start a farm. So we started at home with backyard chickens while our kids were young, because it's basically great recyclers for any scraps you may have off of your kitchen table. You can make compost with their manure and their bedding and kind of spread that and distribute that in your garden. So it has multiple benefits to having backyard chickens. Also, you get an egg. You get a perfect food, which is an egg. It has all your amino acids, the right amount of protein, and you'll get plenty of those as a result of having these backyard chickens. Some cautions on that are predators, and don't forget, predators can be neighbors' dogs. We've had that at home. We've lost several of our chickens to other people's dogs. They jumped the fence or came in and they just want to attack the chickens. Also hawks, we've had that at home as well. So you got to look to protect them. At nighttime, you got to look to protect them from the raccoons and possums, so you want to lock them up. And then during the day, you want to kind of keep them in a shelter, or at least be around to where something may not attack them, or have a fenced-in yard. That's usually the best way to do it. Other than that, the chickens will lay for you for probably 3, 4, 5 years, and then they kind of tail off, but by then they're probably household pets, so you end up not doing anything with them, and maybe you add some new chickens into the mix. It's kind of like how we started. Starting a farm and just starting to add animals. We started with sheep. Sheep was a better way for us to start, because you basically feed them hay and give them water or give them pasture, and they're pretty much set, other than taking care of a four-legged full-size animal, and any health issues that may come about it would be quite different than a chicken. But then we ended up adding chickens over the next couple of years, and then that's what kind of roots you to the farm, because of the opening and closing, feedings, collecting eggs, all of that fun stuff. So there's different things to consider with regard to getting some chickens. One is, are you going to get them as chicks, or are you going to get them as ready to lay layers, which you can get? Chicks are going to they get shipped through the post office, or sometimes you can go to your local store and they have chicks available. They need to be kept in heat, so you need a brooder set up with a heat lamp. A lot of times they're 95 degrees for the first week, 90 degrees for the second week. Keep lowering it 5 degrees until it gets to around 75 degrees, and then if they're full feathered, then they're ready to go outside. And also it's depending on the season and the weather. But in general, so you're going to have to take care of them and keep them, but it's also your opportunity to get them used to you at that point and get them to where they're not so skittish. Whereas if you get ready to lay pullets, what they're called is a young hen that hasn't laid eggs yet, a pullet, is that they may be raised on the ground. They may not know how to roost yet. So it's not an automatic just buy them and I'm starting to get eggs. There's a little bit of work that's going to be involved with getting ready to lay pullets as well. But then from there, you're going to look for a shelter for them, right? So a shelter that's going to protect them from predators, number one. From two, from weather, potentially. If you're getting storms or heavy rain coming in, you don't want a coop or something, or some sort of shelter that's going to get all wet inside. And then on top of that, you're going to need to be able to open and close it at night in general, or somehow kind of protect it with an electric fence. And then you're going to need a water. A lot of times there's little 5-gallon waters that you can keep water in, and you just change it every couple of days. And then feed. I would only buy organic feed, but the two choices with organic or feed, and organic feed for that matter, is either pelletized or it's crumble. There's two different aspects to it, and there's different feed requirements for chicks versus a full grown. Because the full growns will need calcium as well, but that's all available in your local feed stores that you can see, okay, here's a laying hen, here's a laying chick, and here's organic, and you kind of go in that way. And then your other choices are really, do I want to let them out, or I want to let them scratch around my yard? I tell you, it's very therapeutic to kind of watch a chicken go around. They will scratch around in your mulch though, in your nice little mulch beds, and my wife doesn't really like that too much. But we do like them going around and finding bugs and scratching and just being chickens. It's quite amusing.